I'm Hollan, and today we're going to be making a twist on a traditional burrito. It's going to be vegan and gluten-free. We are going to make coconut rice. I use organic jasmine rice, and I put it right into the pot, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of canned coconut milk, 1 cup of water. And if you do this with any other rice, you just want to double check and go ahead and mix the water and coconut ratio to that rice. Jasmine rice is 1 cup of rice to 2 cups water, and we're going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt on it. And on the stove, you're going to go ahead and bring this to a boil. Once it boils, you're going to cover it and let it cook for 20 minutes. This really makes a really incredible seasoned rice. It's very creamy. It tastes like there's butter in it. And this is the finished product. So I had this on low for about 20 minutes. One of my favorite ways to have vegetables is to roast them, just with a little olive oil and some salt. I think they just taste caramely, delicious. They have a little crunch to them. So I have white sweet potatoes here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it into 4s, and then just go ahead and rock your blade to try to make it fast. I try to cut everything up as quickly as possible, but make sure I have my safety. And so one thing that's important is that you always have your hands here, and you're actually moving the food and bringing your hands back so you don't cut yourself. And so you can do this with yams. These are white sweet potatoes. In Hawaii, purple sweet potatoes are pretty incredible. And I'm just going to move them to my parchment lined cookie sheet. And I have a beet here. I keep all the skin on my vegetables because I know that the vitamins are in between the skin and the actual pulp. And so I always want to make sure that I have it intact. This I'm just cutting up. Beets, it's tricky to not color your fingers, but I'm going to do the best I can. And same thing, I call it like little nuggets. Just want to make some little nuggets out of it. Cut this one right down. One of the things they say beets are good for is for your blood, and if nature gives us any clues, beets definitely are showing that it's good for blood. So I'm just going to go ahead and move those right onto the sheet pan. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to mix them up. And I just do a drizzle with a little organic olive oil. This is going to help brown them. And then go ahead, a little sea salt over the top, and then just give them a nice little coat and mix. And we're going to throw these into the oven at 400 for about 15 minutes or until they're caramely and golden. This is what our beets and sweet potatoes look like once they've been cooked. Now we're going to make our cashew cheese with a twist. We're going to add a roasted red bell pepper in there. So I start with about a cup of cashews. They go right into the blender. This works best with a Vitamix or a high-powered blender. If you have a regular blender, you probably need to blend it for longer. I'm going to go ahead and put water in. That's going to go right over the top of our cashews. I'm going to say that was probably about a half a cup. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of salt. And then I have 1 roasted red pepper. I actually bought these jarred and I took a little of the juice from it. It's going to give it a little extra kick. Goes right into the blender. And then with the Vitamix, you always want to make sure your lid's on and you make sure you're starting on low, bringing it up to high. it's gonna thicken up over time as the cashews absorb more water. It's gonna be just delicious on our burrito. I'm gonna chop up some lettuce. I'm getting all my other ingredients together for my burrito. Just chopping up some lettuce, fine shreds. I love fresh greens in my burritos. So I'm gonna have those on the side. I have some black beans that I made and I went ahead and mashed them. I keep pre-cooked black beans in my freezer so I have them whenever I want. You can use canned beans. You also can add anything else you want to it. I'm going to show you with some gluten-free tortillas, just in case you're trying to stay away from gluten, but you're more than welcome to use flour tortillas or any that you love. And so I start with just a little rice. And gluten-free tortillas tend to be a little smaller, so these are like mini burritos. And after the rice, just so it absorbs it, I'm gonna go ahead and do like a nice generous spoonful or two of our red pepper cashew cheese. Go ahead and do some beets and sweet potatoes right in there. And then lettuce. And you can either have it open or closed. Bring it in, tuck, and a burrito. I'm just going to repeat it for our second one. Rice, cashew cheese, some beans, go ahead with our beet sweet potato right on top. Cover that with some of the lettuce. I keep the lettuce more on the top away from the heat so it doesn't wilt. And we want to just tuck in our sides, bring it around, and voila!